Hello and a very warm welcome to our weekly news magazine program, Bhutan This Week. I'm Tamchisong. Our top stories this week. The Gaze's naming ceremony will take place on 16th of April in Punakha. Over 2.5 million books were read by teachers, staff and students during the National Reading Year last year. And constructions will begin in the new extended Tashiyangtse town area from August this year. The Gaze's naming ceremony will take place in Punakha on 16th of April. This was announced by the Prime Minister Sringtopge at the midterm review meeting in Paro. The naming ceremony would coincide with the grand celebration of Shabdung Kuche to mark 400 years since Shabdung's arrival in Bhutan. An overwhelming number of people came together to plant saplings to welcome His Royal Highness the Gaze. A total of 108,000 saplings were planted in various parts of the country. According to the organizer, Tendril initiatives combined with the sacred Buddhist number 108, the act of planting 108,000 trees represent the highest form of pledge and dedication. Here in Thimphu, thousands gathered at Kunsalfoda to take part in the event.
Before the plantation, Sulalobin from the Jungdrasang recited the Thukmen for His Royal Highness the Gelse. Exactly at 10 minutes past 10 in the morning, the plantation began at the same time in 14 Dzongkhaks. At Kunsalfodang in Thimphu, nearly 6,000 people from all walks of life took part in the event and planted 5,000 oak and blue pine saplings. Prime Minister Sringtopge, parliamentarians and government officials were also among the participants. Each sapling is being adopted by the planters. The sapling pit also had a placard with the name and contact number of the planter who will be called whenever care is necessary.
We are going to employ a caretaker for about 3 to 4 months until monsoon, and then hopefully they will look after the saplings. And here in Kunsalfodang we have given 1 tree to 1 person, and that again gives an ownership, their tree, somebody's tree dedicated to Gelse, and we are hopeful that they will look after and care that tree. And besides that, we also have communicated with the schools nearby and the community. So all the plantations, they are again adopted. Besides the caretaker, they are again adopted by the schools nearby, and in some places the community, they are taking care of they have promised to take care of this plantation.
Nearly 100,000 people were involved in the plantation in 14 Dzongkhaks. A sapling each was planted by every household in far-flung villages. According to the organizers, each sapling represents the dedication of the people to the kingdom's ruling Wangchu dynasty. Sonam Sring, PBS News.
Over 2.5 million books were read by teachers, staff and students during the National Reading Year 2015. More than 176,000 of them read books for 10 months from February till November last year. This is as per the National Reading Year 2015 Annual Report.
Prime Minister Sringtopge launched the National Reading Year 2015 Annual Report and said a healthy reading habit in youth makes them capable in pursuing an enlightened Bhutanese society. Many teachers and students feel that the program should continue.
Reading will keep us informed about past, present and future. So since reading is the only way to gain knowledge, National Reading Year has helped us read more.
The National Reading Year last year has been of great help, and then it has created more awareness in students, especially me, because I think last year it was the year I read most books.
Books help us to explore about other countries, and we learn more about our country. So we get experience and get interested in reading, which actually help us to get knowledge. The reading program should be continued hereafter as well, and we will show more interest.
hemo labeki ni moto nyumbe mijone irawa yu shinila.
2015 was declared as National Reading Year to celebrate the 68th birth anniversary of His Majesty the Fourth Duke Gyalpo. The program was initiated to make every Bhutanese an empowered reader in pursuit of personal growth and national progress. Compiled for Saigi Chazum, Kilayongdan, BBS News.
The wait is almost over. Construction activities in the new extended Tashiyangtse town, which got delayed, will be allowed from August this year.
Nima Wangchuk, one of the residents of the new extended town area, has been waiting impatiently to begin constructing his house. For more than 3 years now, he and his family have been living in a cramped hut while his construction materials like timber and stones lay idle outside. Like him, there are around 10 households in Yangtze Gewuk waiting to begin construction activities.
We laid
the foundation and even collected construction materials before falling under the extended town area. It's been about 7 to 8 years since then. We got the approval for the construction during the former Zongda's time.
The former Zongda said, if we are to develop, we'll have to focus on farming and build houses. Moreover, officials say we will require more houses for Kolongchu project. The President Zongda also shares similar idea. But when we go to get approval, they don't allow. It is different from what they say.
It has been more than 6 to 7 years since they planned the town. The delay has caused problems to the villagers. Since they are under Thomde, they are not entitled for rural benefits. Those who received Kidu earlier do not get the same this time. While people wait for the construction works to begin, their timber are rotting.
The Dzongkhag municipal engineer, Jigme Sonam, explained they could not implement the plan due to delayed land survey and issuance of Laktham.
In case of phase 1, we have completed both structure plan and the local area plan. In case of lab 2 and 3, we have complete the structure plan. But this time, in this financial year, we have 6 million to do a local area plan. So in that case, we have tendered and we have even opened, but there was only 2 bidders. So as per the procurement rule, so we have to retender. Simultaneously, we have to conduct a consultancy meeting with the public here. We have to give 5 months for the preparation of lab. So after that, then we'll finalize the lab preparations and then we'll lead people to construct the houses.
The extended town area covers Beling, Lendrup Gassal and Bimkhar villages of Yangtze Gewuk. It covers more than 700 acres of land. Sringzam, BBS News.
In a press release issued by the opposition party, the economy today is in distress and the government is clueless about it. The opposition party mentioned the rising trade deficit, national debt, unemployment and tourism inflows among others. Our reporter Nerup Gelson talked to the opposition member Kingal Sring on the statement.
The opposition party sent a press release providing their perspective and their point of view on how the economy has performed so far. Now we tried to get in touch with the government as well, trying to get their views on what the opposition had to say about the economy so far. But somehow we couldn't get in touch with them, but we'll try to bring you their point of view over the next few days. Now, to begin with, from the opposition's point of view, now how has the economy performed so far?
The economy is in distress. The reason why is because this is the midterm review period. Out of the five-year plan period, 3 years is already gone. If you look at the budget figure, 213 billion for the 11th five-year plan. 140 billion has already been sanctioned and used as of now. 32 billion is trade deficit. 16 billion is the shortfall in national revenue. So in addition to using 140 billion over the last 3 years, if you add all the shortfalls in the budget deficits, then you're looking at almost using 200 billion of the 213 billion. So what is left for us to use for the next 2 years of the 11th five-year plan? So that is our biggest worry. And our concern is, I think, since the economy forms one of the pillars of the GNH, how do we really attain self-reliance at this pace? This is one of the biggest concerns that we have, that the economy is in fact in distress.
Now, when we look at it the other way around, now looking at some economic indicators like GDP, for example, foreign exchange reserve, inflation, etc., things seem to have improved over the past few years. We can clearly see that the central bank is also now providing rupees for pilgrims. Now, looking at all these indicators at the economic front, things seem to have improved. What do you have to say to that?
Take GDP, for example. Yes, it seems to have improved to 5.6%, but what is the main key item that has improved? If you look at the statistics and the figure, you can see that the plant and machinery equipment has increased from 8 billion to 23 billion, over 300 to 400% increase. Would that reflect to economic activity improvement in the overall GDP? I don't think so. As far as the forex is concerned, again, when you look at the inflow of money through donor funding, yes, is absolutely right. But on the other hand, from the economic activity of tourism, the dollar-paying tourism has gone down by 12%. So would that reflect again to improvement of economy from dollar-paying tourism? I don't think so. So similarly, when you look at again the rupee situation, yes, I think RMA has done an excellent job in providing 50,000 rupee to everybody who's going pilgrimage. But in the past, it has been done by the banks where the limit was limited to 10,000. But then you can take your relatives and get extra money as well. So therefore, we feel that some of the figures do seem to indicate improvement. And then take the inflation again. Why the inflation has come down? Because most of the majority of the items are imported. And in India, inflation has gone down because oil prices come down from $100 per barrel to $30 per barrel. So therefore, all these figures, would it really indicate improvement of local economy in Bhutan? I think that's something we really need to be aware of.
In your press release, you have mentioned that the government is clueless about what's happening in the economy right now. Can you explain it briefly on how and where, in what aspect is the government clueless?
The figures that I have already indicated would show that there is an ample portrayal of the fact that the policy of the government, in fact, is clueless on where the direction of the economy. If you look at it 3 years ago, government was all about, for example, on the unemployment, the rising national debt, and as well as the rupee crisis. And what we really see now is those three situations. So far, yet nothing has changed. I mean, unemployment is still a big issue. Rupee crisis is still there because over the last 3 years, if you look at it, the rupee balance overall has not increased from 10 billion the last 2013, 14, and 15. So therefore, we also see that there is a consistent flip-flop on the decision. For example, say take slaughterhouse is going to be done today and then tomorrow they deny it. BOIC is a legal entity today and then tomorrow is an illegal entity. And then there are so many councils set up again to recommend the government on certain policy direction, but no action is being taken. So therefore, we seriously feel that when you really look at these macro indicators and go into the details of economic indicators, something is seriously wrong. And that gives us the concern that government does not seem to be knowing what they're doing.
The 126 megawatt Dagachu hydropower project has remained shut for the last 2 months following a leakage 300 meters below one of its tunnels. Although the leakage was detected early last year, the project, even after hiring international consultants, was not able to detect any major issue. The shutdown of the plant following the leakage will be costing the project over 120 million Newton. The leakage is expected to be rectified by the end of this month. The BOB ATM card holders will now be able to deposit cash directly into their account using the new cash deposit machine. The machines installed near the BOB main office is now available to people in Thimphu.
Bank of Bhutan installed 2 new cash deposit machines in Thimphu. People can now use the machine to instantly credit their account anytime. The transaction receipt will give an updated account balance immediately.
While one go to deposit the cash, as usual, the customer go to insert his card, and once he insert his card, there will be prompt in the screen asking to enter your PIN. Subsequent, there will be cash deposit icon on the screen. So customer has to press that. Once that cash deposit icon is being pressed, the cash deposit tray would be opened. Once the tray is opened, customer should be depositing the cash. If the customer wish to add more, we have the options. Otherwise, just press a confirm button and it automatically deposits to the customer account. That's the final. So there we have the screenshot, your deposit is successfully deposited. Please click your receipt.
The machine will accept 50, 100, 500 and 1000 denominations only. People will be able to deposit a minimum of 50 Newton.
Deposit day for first lot, it will accept maximum 200 notes, irrespective of the denominations. However, if customer wish to transact further, deposit more amount, we have add more options in the screen. So choosing that add more options, a customer can deposit a maximum of 4 lakhs.
Customers can only make 3 transactions in a day, and the machine accepts only Bhutanese currency. If the service is successful, the bank plans to buy more machines. Phinsiling will also soon receive 1 cash deposit machine. Compiled for Sangye Chezom, Kiliangton, BBS News.
The government will henceforth use people's voice through social media to frame new policies. The cabinet endorsed the social media policy in January this year.
The new social media policy says the government agencies should create their own platforms or use the existing ones, such as Facebook and Twitter, among others, to disseminate information. It also says the platforms can be used to engage citizens to discuss issues.
And I think the social media policy in that context will only support, strengthen and further consolidate these good efforts of the government. And thirdly, I think, given the speed, efficiency and cost effectiveness of social media, I think it opens up a whole plethora of possibilities for the government to interact when framing or formulating public policy, so that citizens take part and they get a sense of ownership. It increases transparency and accountability, as well as citizens get more trusting of the government initiatives.
The Director General said even though the policy is meant for just the civil servants, its code of conduct applies to all citizens. The policy serves as a guideline for the civil servants to use social media to enhance their work performance, improve their outputs and deliveries, among others. It also talks about the staff's etiquette while using social media. Compiled for Phupkem, Sunampem, BBS News.
There are 24 individuals, including the main accused, Rinchen, involved in the embezzlement case of the Royal Insurance Corporation of Bhutan. This is the latest revelation from the investigation of the case by the Anti-Corruption Commission. The Anti-Corruption Commission's probe further reveals that the main accused, Rinchen, had embezzled 113 million Ngötum. Earlier, when RSCB filed the case to ACC, he was said to have misused over 91 million Ngötum. The 23 other suspects are employees of RSCB, Bhutan National Bank and private individuals. RSCB filed the case with ACC in June last year. ACC will soon forward the case to the Office of Attorney General. The former head of Chancery of Bhutanese Embassy in Thailand has been charged on 26 counts of embezzlement, official misconduct, and deceptive practice by the Office of Attorney General. The charges were read out during the preliminary hearing at Thimphu District Court. The former head of Chancery is alleged to have misused over 17.6 million yutam of government money meant for medical referrals of Bhutanese patients to Bangkok. Anti-Corruption Commission's investigation in November 2012 had revealed the misuse of funds since 2008. The local government election is just a few months away, and preparations have already begun in Ha. The first process is to verify the electoral roll. This is to ensure that every eligible voter is registered and is ready to cast their votes on the polling day.
Sama Gyeok is the second Gyeok in Ha to undergo the electoral roll verification. At least one person from every household in the Gyeok has been called to the meeting. This is to check and make sure that all voters in their homes are registered. This is an important process to include or register every eligible voters.
There may be some whose names are not registered here, so we include their names. Then there will be some who might have transferred their census here, so we register their names as well. And those who delete the names of the people who have transferred their census elsewhere.
The public are also made aware of the functional literacy tests that aspiring candidates must undergo to participate in the election.
We are going to conduct the functional literacy test next month, so we are listing down the names of those interested to take the test.
The electoral roll verifications in all 6 Gyeoks in Ha are expected to be completed by next week. Compiled for Rishi Gelson, Sangeet BBS News.
Many Bhutanese do not value or give importance to lower denomination yutam notes. People say high inflation over a long period of time has eroded the intrinsic value of lower yutam notes, especially the 1 yutam note.
While economists attribute this to high inflation, others believe it is due to lack of adequate financial literacy and saving culture. In the street, many believe that commodities in Bhutanese shops can be bought only with higher denomination notes. Also, while accepting changes, many shops use sweets and gums in place of 1 yutam notes.
It seems like 1 yutam note has no value at all. In my opinion, if you don't have 1 yutam, you can't make 1,000 or 100. So I think people should take 1 yutam note seriously.
Shopkeepers said most customers do not accept 1 yutam notes while exchanging their money.
Firstly, we can't get 1 yutam easily, and when we get, we give it to customers, but they either don't accept or ask for chewing gums or chocolates.
According to an economist, 1 yutam note cannot buy almost anything. Therefore, it is not used efficiently and the currency will remain idle. Moreover, there will be more pressure on higher denominations.
Because it doesn't make economic sense to have the currencies worth smaller denomination when they cannot buy anything. I think the time has come where the government can ponder whether it's worth to have Yutam 1 basically in terms of rupee note, but they can have the coins because that would be.
But the lower denomination notes are costing the central bank with a huge printing cost. 1 yutam notes are printed at a cost of 3 to 4 yutams. However, the central bank doesn't want to discontinue printing lower denomination notes. Central bank officials said lower denominations are printed to keep inflation at bay. If discontinued, officials added commodities in the market will start at higher prices.
So I appeal to the public on behalf of RMA to discourage shopkeepers from giving chewing gum or sweets or matchboxes in place of change of Nultrum 1. And with regards to the Nultrum 1, people having high regards or not, or no regards at all for the Nultrum 1, it is very subjective.
The central bank released over 21 million 1 Newton notes in 2012. Compiled for Sonam Chodin, Kipchu, BVS News.
Happy Green Cooperative is today reaping the benefits of mass potato cultivation in Sarpong. They claim that they are the first one to grow potatoes on a commercial scale in the Dzongkhag. Happy Green Cooperative is based in Thimphu and is run by young entrepreneurs.
Young farmers are busy harvesting potatoes in Dargitham village under Shompankha Gyeog in Sarpong. Farmers lease their fallow lands to the Happy Green Cooperative. And the cooperative started growing potatoes on an 8 acres of land last year.
Nobody has really attempted, as I said, on a bigger scale. So we had to do a several trial and error process last year. The yield we have achieved this year is per acre about 6 tons, which is not so bad, but it's also, we should say, it's not very optimal as well.
But it was not easy. Lack of proper irrigation water and good quality seeds for cultivation were the main challenge. But the cooperative is here to promote organic agriculture.
The main purpose of starting this farm in the south is we have the potato production in Bhutan for last 2-3 decades, but the production in the south has never been attempted on a larger scale. And we had to depend half of the year importing potatoes from India across the border. And that has also somehow depleted a lot of our foreign currency, as well as our people have been feeding on so many not so good quality of food from outside.
Cooperative is also generating data to improve the business. After potato season, the group is planning for mass maize cultivation. For Karmawangdi, Sonam Sring, BBS News.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you for joining us. This is Tamchizam saying goodbye.